friends, welcome back. I'm Ashley Morris, the owner and lead tutor at amtutors.com, where we specialize in one-on-one virtual math tutoring for middle school and high school students. In today's video, we're going to start on this idea of how to graph a line, but we're going to start with an XY chart, put some dots on our graph, and connect the dots. So let's hop right in. Technically speaking, when you're graphing a line, you only need 2 points. I like to do 3 just in case. With 2, you don't know if your dots are off. If you do 3, that can usually help find a mistake. So that's why I like 3. And you can plug in any numbers you want for X or Y, but I like X. I'll show you why in a minute. But I usually use -1, 0, and 1. Why? Because they're easy to work with. Multiplying by 1, so easy. Multiplying by 0, so easy. If you start using other numbers, it gets a little trickier because the numbers get bigger. So I'm going to plug in 3 numbers, -1, 0, and 1, and I'm going to plug them in for X. Why X? Well, look at this equation. The Y is already by itself, and a lot of times that's what happens. The Y will be by itself. We'll talk about what that looks like in a different video. But anyway, a lot of times the Y is by itself, so we're going to plug in numbers for X. I'm going to plug in -1. Y equals 2 times -1 minus 1. And then let's do some order of operations. Let's multiply, and then we can add or subtract. So that gives me -3. And we're going to plug in 0. I don't really have a whole lot of space because my face is in the way. I'm going to come over here and do it, okay? 2 times 0 minus 1. 2 times 0 is 0, minus 1 is 1, -1. So Y is -1. Plug in 1. 2 times 1 minus 1 is 2, minus 1 is 1. So now I have these ordered pairs. -1, -3, 0, -1, 1, 1. Let's graph them and hope I did my math right. -1, -3. -1, 1, 2, 3, 0, -1, 1, 1. And then we are going to connect our dots. And I'm going to do the best I can with my line tool. Oh, I did pretty good. If you use a straight edge and you're using graph paper, which you should be doing, they will all line up and connect. But you can imagine if I had one like here, that doesn't really work. I caught my mistake. But if you only had 2 points, you wouldn't know because your straight edge is always going to go through 2 points. That's why I like doing 3. All right, let's look at this one. This is a little different. Y equals 4. This means no matter what I plug in for X, Y will always be 4. Okay, Y equals 4. Always. Doesn't matter what X is. So -1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 4, 1, 4. And then connect those dots. That's a horizontal line. That has 0 slope. And it's always going to be Y equals a number. Horizontal lines have 0 slope and they're always Y equals a number. So when you do your XY chart, the Y's are all 4. Now what about this one? It's in something called standard form where the Y is not by itself. So you have 2 choices. You can plug your X's into this equation and solve for Y every time, or you can solve for Y to start with. I'm going to solve for Y to start with because then I think it's less work later for me. But it doesn't really matter. So we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. Combined any like terms, but there are none because that has an x and that does not. And then we're going to divide everything by 6. So that's going to give me a -1/2 x plus 2. Now, remember how I said I usually use -1, 0, and 1 because they're easy? They're not going to be easy in this one because I have a fraction. So I'm going to look at my denominator, which is 2. And that's what I'm going to use. So that when I multiply, my fractions go away. It makes my life so much easier. So let's come over here. We've got Y equals -1/2 x plus 2. Let's plug in our numbers. -1/2 times -2 plus 2. -1/2 times -2, that's +1. So much easier than dealing with a fraction because when you're graphing, fractions are really frustrating. Fractions can be our friends, but when we're graphing, it's tricky. -1/2 times 0 plus 2 gives me 0 plus 2, which is 2. 2. head's in the way again. Y equals negative 1/2 times 2 plus 2. That's going to give me a negative 1 plus 2, which is 1. So now we're going to run over here and graph our numbers. I'm going to get that line in a little bit of a better spot. It needs to be on my grid. There we go. All right, negative 2, positive 3. 0, 2, and 2, 1. And then connect the dots using your straight edge. If you do not have graph paper, you can try drawing your own, or go online and just search for free printable graph paper and you'll find some. So there's that. Now I want you to try. I can only put one on here at a time because of the zooming issues. So you pause and try it and then we'll check it. Alrighty, so we're going to plug in our numbers. My head's probably going to get in the way again. Negative 3 times negative 1 plus 1 is 3 plus 1, which is 4. Plug in 0. Negative 3 times 0 plus 1 is 0 plus 1, which is 1. Boop. Negative 3 times 1 plus 1 is negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. And let's graph. Negative 1, positive 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 1, negative 2. Get your straight edge. And I missed. That's okay. I'll swoosh. Ta-da! That works. Make sure your dots are really obvious, and then if your line doesn't go quite right, it should be okay. Okay, pause and try this one. This one's a little tricky, but if you think about it like the y equals, it's not terrible. X is always 1. So it does not matter what you use for y, X is always 1. So we're going to go over to 1 and up 1, over to 1, 0, over to 1, down 1, and connect our dots. So this is a vertical line. It has no slope or undefined slope, and it's a vertical line. No slope, vertical line, X equals a number. I hope that helped. If you need more practice, make sure you get our worksheet. It's in the description on YouTube or in my bio profile on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell, all those fun things so that you know when we post more math videos. I hope you have a great day.